Welcome back to my channel. Today we're watching an Immortal chess game that was played by Anderson and Kieseritsky in London in 1851. Everyone enjoyed the game so much because of beautiful sacrifices, and that is why chess players called it an Immortal chess game.
Yeah, hello. Today we're gonna watch a beautiful game and I hope that you will enjoy it. So Anderson played white in this game and he started with e4. Kizeritsky played black and he answered e5. So you see that it's an open opening on the chessboard. Most of beginners plays knight f3 in this position, but that time probably one of the most popular opening was King's Gambit, and that's why Anderson played f4. Nowadays, probably also one of the most popular moves in this position for black is d5, so Falkbeer counter gambit. But it's also possible to play accepted King's Gambit. So in the game, Kizeritsky took the pawn. Probably in this position, we have to say several words about possible moves for white. So I think that knight f3 is a very nice move. Yes, so we control h4, and after knight f3, black can't move the queen to h4 in this position. You may also think that it would be nice for you to play d4, yeah, and control the center. So usually it's very good. But in this position, it's not the best idea because black has a strong answer, queen h4. And now it's not so clear what to do with the king, because if white tries to play g3, we shouldn't forget that h2 is pinned. Yes, the pawn is pinned with a rook in this position, and we just captures the pawn. And I think that this position is very good for white. Yeah, if for black, sorry. If white doesn't play g3, so I think it kind of problem where to move the king to e2 or d2. Yeah, doesn't look good. So we block the bishop, and of course at the second rank, the white king doesn't feel safety. So let's go back. Yes, that's why we don't play d4. So probably knight f3, as I said before, is one of the most popular moves. In this game, Anderson decided to play bishop to c4. Also a nice move. The bishop is on a very good diagonal. Just in case white should be ready to play this position without castle. Yeah, because after queen h4, and this is what actually happened in a game, white has to play king f1. Yeah, so of course it's more comfortable to have the king at the first rank, yeah, and we don't have to move it at the second rank. So in King's Gambit, it's very like typical position when you can't castle and move your king to f1. Yeah. So after this move, black chose an interesting move, b5. So we shouldn't forget that this game was played more than 150 years ago. And of course, chess was a little bit different at the time, and knowledge about chess was different. So Kizeritsky played many games with this variation when he played b5, and he won most of these games. So of course he thought that this move is good. But nowadays we recognize that b5 is a mistake. So don't repeat this move in your games. b5 is not the best move in this position. I think that the main idea of this move is to attack the bishop, and black just doesn't want the bishop to stay on this diagonal anymore. So of course Anderson was happy to capture the pawn, why not? And finally black started to develop pieces. So knight f6 was played. So let's think what we can do for white in this position. Maybe it's a good time to develop a piece. So Tara, what ideas do you have?
Maybe you can develop a new piece.
Yeah. So which one? This knight on b1 or g1 knight?
You can develop the knight on b1.
b1. Okay, so you want to play knight c3, yeah? Okay, you protect the pawn. It looks very interesting. But in this position, Anderson decided to develop the knight and attack the queen first. So that's why he played knight to f3. So now black has to move queen again. And this is why usually in the opening we try not to use a queen too early. Yeah, because you see white develops a new piece, black can't continue development because black has to move the queen first. Queen goes to h6. Yeah, now I think we have to protect the pawn. So Anderson chose d3. I think that he also wanted to open up diagonal for the bishop, yeah, and maybe in the future try to attack the queen more. Probably in this position, black should just play, maybe develop some pieces. So maybe c6 attacking the bishop, yeah. Maybe he could also play bishop to e7. I think looks not bad. But black forgot about development and decided to start making some problems for white. So knight goes to h5. This move doesn't look good. First of all, you move the knight at the side of the chessboard without any important reason. Of course, black's plan is to get to g3, yeah, forking the king and the rook, because we still shouldn't forget that h2 is pinned in this position. So if white captures, you will get the rook. Yeah, so for example, if
One,
knight c3 would played, yeah, knight goes to g3.
one rule of the opening is that you don't want to move the same piece twice. You should focus on developing your pieces and castling.
Yeah, of course. So that's why if you see that you want to attack something, but this move doesn't improve your position, yeah, especially when you move your pieces at the side of the chessboard, and if your opponent can avoid your trap, yeah, easily, of course, we shouldn't do this. So white just plays knight h4, and you will see what is the difference between these two knights at the side of the chessboard. So yeah, knight probably wants to get to f5, and of course knight g3 doesn't work anymore. So Kizeritsky answered queen to g5, yeah, and white just improved position of the knight. So knight goes to f5, yeah, closer to the black's king side. Yeah, so black decided to attack the bishop, and white made a very interesting move, and I think it was kind of unexpected for black in this position. So g4 was played, yeah. Instead of moving the bishop away, Anderson decided to attack the knight. So nice move, nice answer. So Kizeritsky moves the knight back. And a new surprise, of course, you see that black pieces are not developed, yeah, and position of the queen is not so good. So that's why white has a choice, yeah, to do something with the bishop to save it or to protect the pawn on g4. And Anderson decided that it's more important for him in this position to protect the pawn, yeah, because then he can start moving the pawns at the king side, try to get more space, and of course attack the black queen. So rook g1, black accepts this sacrifice. Yeah, but now you see what happens at the king side. So too many queen moves, I guess. So let's discuss what we can do in this position, what would be good for us. Um, in my opinion, I would be happy to capture the pawn on f4, yeah? But of course, right now it doesn't make any sense because the queen is protecting it. So maybe good for me to attack this pawn more. So let's think all together what we can do.
Maybe you can play queen f3.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then
queen
you're
f3
attacking the
looks
pawn even
nice.
more.
Yeah, so queen goes to f3. This is what happened in a game. Now white has a plan just to capture the pawn on f4 with a bishop, and the black queen would be trapped. Yeah. Also, it's a possible plan to play e5, yeah, and attack the rook, so discovered attack. Of course, Kizeritsky doesn't want to lose his queen, and that's why he has to find a place for it. And unpleasant move, so to move your knight back at the last rank, yeah. So you see, let's count how many moves this knight made. So the first move was knight f6, knight h5, then it moved back to f6, so 3 moves, and finally the knight moves back to g8. So 4 moves just with a knight instead of development. Yeah, of course, usually we don't have to move a piece so many times in the opening. And also, I think that the black queen made too many moves. So, of course, it's not the best way to start your game like this and to do this at the opening. Yeah.
You can also see that white has so many pieces developed, and they're starting their own plan. Where the black knight it developed and then it moved back.
Of course. And of course, you see that black has an extra bishop, but black pieces except the queen doesn't take a part in a game, so this extra material doesn't help. Yeah, and of course, white's position is just very, very good.
You
So
need all your pieces to attack. You can't just attack with one piece.
yeah. So bishop takes f4, very nice move. Yes, you attack the queen and at the same time you develop a new piece. So nice move and of course nice position. And black doesn't have time to continue development because black has to take care about the queen. So queen goes to f6, knight c3. Yeah, probably a new place for the knight, center, d5. So this is the plan. Okay, so finally development. So bishop goes to c5, attacking the rook. But white decided to make problems for the king, and this is why white doesn't protect the rook, doesn't move it away. So instead of this, white plays knight to d5, attacking the queen. And you see that white pieces come closer to the king. So the black king is in danger. Black captures the pawn, yeah. Now you see that both of the white rooks are attacked by black pieces, yeah, by the bishop, by the queen. But white still has a goal to make problems for the black king, so that's why white doesn't try to save the rooks. So, like, new sacrifices very soon. So bishop goes to d6, yeah. Nice idea. So we just want black bishop stop controlling this diagonal, and at the same time we want the white bishop to get closer to the king. Let's discuss what happens if black captures. So for example, bishop takes d6. What would you do, Tara?
If the bishop takes on d6, you could take the bishop.
Yeah, I think taking the bishop looks nice. Okay, so what happens after king f8?
Then queen takes f7.
Yeah, so mate on 1, queen takes f7. Okay, so the king can't get to e7 because of the knight on d5. And what would we do after king d8? I think that we are close to mate the king.
Then the queen can take the pawn on f7.
Okay, king e8.
Then you can play knight d6.
Okay, so we move the knight back to d6. Yes, the king still can't get to e7, and even if it moves to d8 to c7, yeah, strong knight at the center. So king moves here, yeah, and I think we have mate in 1 in this position.
Then you can play queen f8.
Yeah, so queen f8 is mate. Yeah, so that's why it's not so good for black to capture the bishop, and of course position is difficult for black. So in the game, Kizaritsky chose to take the rook. So bishop takes g1, and another very beautiful move that Anderson found is pawn to e5. I think that the main plan is just interception. He wants to block the diagonal for the queen and make sure that the queen is not able to get back in this position. Yeah, so very nice. Queen takes a1, so you see that white also sacrificed 2 rooks. King e2, so, and black answered knight a6. Yes, somehow black tries to protect c7. And in this position, Anderson found a beautiful combination, so mate in 3. Let's think how we can mate the black king in 3 moves.
You can play knight takes g7.
Okay, yeah, so I have to move my king to d8. No choice.
Then queen f6.
Queen f6, very nice. So would be very good for us to move the bishop to e7, but right now it doesn't work because the knight captures and bishop e7 is not mate. So that's why we use a very popular idea, deflection. We want to deflect the knight from controlling e7. So when knight takes f6, yeah, now we have mate in 1.
Now you can play bishop e7.
Yeah, so we just play bishop e7 and it's a checkmate. So very nice. This the knight on g7 controls e8, knight at the center controls c7, the bishop is protected. So I think now it's clear why this game called Immortal Chess Game. So many sacrifices and white just has 3 pieces on the chessboard except the king and pawns, and like all this extra material doesn't help black to win the game. So very nice, very beautiful position.
And I think in this game you can learn that development is so important. Even if you have extra material, White was able to get lots of initiative and get his pieces to attack the king.
Yeah. So
So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to others. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
bye.